Behold the greatest creation in pig history! It is time to show these pigs where they truly belong! Take them to the woods! Hello and welcome back. I really hope that everybody watching likes the new changes, and it wouldn't be the start of a new season without some announcements. So let's dive straight into the most controversial one. Will Piggy Smalls' handicap remain in place this season? Yes, of course it will. Anyone who saw the Season 8 finals knows exactly the reason why, and we are here to find the pound for pound best pig racer on the planet, not the biggest pig wins. Secondly, we are changing the season slightly. Normally there are 4 rounds. We're going to have 3 rounds for this season, but we are going to have 8 races instead of 7 races around. So a slightly longer round, but less of them. But let's forget all that, because what we're about to witness is the pigs racing in the wood for the first time ever. The first race of the wood begins and the pigs come waltzing out of it, actually. In fact, Piggy Smalls has taken the lead with a casual jog and none of the others seem bothered to correct him. In fact, this is looking less of a race and more the pigs just scoping out the track to see if there's any treats at the end of it. Piggy Smalls clinches the most undeserved record in the league's history at almost 15 seconds, and Bear proves once again that she won't break out of a walk unless she's guaranteed of highly calorific food at the end of the track. And in fairness to the pigs, their scepticism is warranted. This is the first time they've ever raced in the area, and that lack of certainty that food will be at the finish line has resulted in a much slower pace. Well, that's the hope, isn't it? Because if not, this league has spent an immense amount of time and resources to produce an extremely boring twist for the spectators. Mornings are a noisy affair here at the League of Pigs, and that's because the pigs are excited for going outside so they can continue to eat grass and put on more weight. But nobody likes to stand up unless they're sure that the box is going to be open. We keep the pigs inside overnight for superior shelter and for safety. There are not many predators in the UK that would even try and challenge these pigs, because even at this size, they are quite strong. But we keep them inside as an extra precaution. And as you can see today, Ginger is finding it the hardest to get out of bed. And you might have noticed that the pigs are covered in straw. We brush them before each race to make sure they look their best for the fans. But outside of the racetrack, they often have straw all over them. And as Bear is showing right now, no morning routine is complete without a good old scratch. The second race of the wood begins, and will the pigs run? Yes, they will, and it's Piggy Smalls and Ginger leading the pack as they go around this corner towards the step. Ginger tackles her head on, Piggy Smalls goes round it. Which was the optimum strategy? It's Ginger Hamilton as she claims her first win of this season, and you could argue the first proper race of this woodland track. It's clear that knowing that there are treats at the end of the track makes a huge difference to the pace of these pigs. But the headline news is the pigs are just as dangerous as they were in the paddock, and the league can breathe a huge sigh of relief. We have a big announcement right now, and that is to say that 100 Thieves, the hugely successful lifestyle and gaming brand, have decided to sponsor Piggy Smalls as their athlete in Season 9. This will be their first animal athlete, and this is huge, not only for the sport, but for pigs everywhere as well. And a special mention needs to go to Will Neff and his community for supporting and pushing this deal through. Oh, and you can see the track is already different. It's going to force the pigs to the left. This is causing massive confusion for everyone now. Ginger unsure, but she's going to lead ahead, and everyone's going to follow her, surely. Cameraman doing an awful job of capturing this race. I have no idea how Piggy Smalls got forward. And there you go, Hoshi on the wrong side of the track, so that must have caused distraction. Let's see it here. There he is, Hoshi gets so frustrated and is tired of waiting for this corner and just goes it alone here. Credit where credit's due, that's pretty graceful from that chunky pig, but we cannot reward such behaviour, and that means we're going to relegate him straight to the back for that one. We've seen Hoshi's impatience play out in many ways over the last few seasons, but none of them with the same finesse as this. One of the biggest differences between the paddock and this new wood is that the wood has no boundaries. It's a completely open world for the pigs, and that means they are free to move in any direction. And trust me, they do. And so our solution is to construct an enclosure over a patch of clover. Pigs love clover. In fact, there's a saying, like a pig in clover. And so it is our hope that this makes the pigs much easier to manage during the races. It's the bench track again. Will Hoshi play ball? Will the others get confused? Well, we've got the answer to the first question as Oinku disappears from screen and Bear's trying to claim a first win. Ginger's challenging here. Look at Piggy Smalls. Cleans the step nicely, punches through the two girls and steals the win. And it's stuff like that which is the reason why he's attracting such outside sponsorship. But let's go and have a look what happened to Hoshi. There he is. There's no concern for his personal safety at all. In fact, he doesn't even try and clear the chicane board much. He just smashes through it, and his impatience is running away with him here, which is quite peculiar given his Japanese heritage. We've got all the surprises here in race 4. Well, this sums up pigs. You give them their favourite thing, and within minutes they're eating thistles, which are about as prickly as cacti. It's the last thing I would choose to eat in this woodland area. Their mouths must be like sandpaper. And Hoshi isn't the only one doing it. Piggy Smalls has also joined the fray, and he needs to because he's got to sustain 77 pounds of weight. Piggy Smalls is massive for a small pig. But regardless, it's safe to say that all 5 are loving this new area. It's the straight track again. Pepper gets a good start. Piggy Smalls and Ginger as well. But Piggy Smalls really accelerates down that hill. It's put him in clear standing here. Goes round the step. Ginger just gets away with that jump. But it's Piggy Smalls who claims the point and gets a more meaningful record at just over 8.5 seconds. That is pretty quick. Ginger needs to be careful with that step. She's jumping super early. But she's just got away with it this time. This is not the paddock. That step is no joke. It won't move if you hit it. So more caution there. But Piggy Smalls is adjusted to the woodland track best so far. It's one of the cutest pigs you've ever seen. It's the princess pig herself, Pepper, and she's gone off exploring nearby the track. And as you can see from her struggling to get up this hill, it's a lot steeper than it looks on the race cameras. And while she's delving into this foliage, it's clear that it's very easy to lose these pigs. You turn your back for 30 seconds and 2 of them have disappeared. And even if you do find them, because often they're in these thick, dense brambles, it's actually very hard to get to them. And trying to call pigs back when everything around them is edible is a very difficult task indeed. It's the bent track again. Hoshi, Ginger and Bear get good starts. Hoshi is finally playing the game and it's working out well for him as he takes the lead. Ginger is the only one to challenge him here, but she trips up and that cements the victory for the Japanese pig. And he desperately needed those 10 points to make up from all the penalties he's received in the woodland, which is actually quite an impressive amount of penalties to receive, given that we're only on race 6. And Ginger is still taking massive liberties with this step. Those mistakes will hurt a lot more than a hedge hurdle, so be careful, Gil, please. We thought we would break tradition this week and ask Ginger to honour the Patreon members. Now, we are a show that posts very irregularly, and that makes it extra difficult for people to support us on a rolling basis, yet the people on this screen do just that. And not only that, it is a huge motivation to keep going. So the reason why we are in season 9 and still pushing the boundaries is down to a small bunch of very eccentric, pig-loving people, and thank God those characters exist. They all get a good start in this penultimate race, but it's Hoshi who comes barreling down the hill. Even Smalls is struggling to keep up with him, and he's looking for redemption after his previous mistakes this round, which he gets after winning a second race here in race 7. Clearly having the physique of a house brick helps when descending down that hill, and he took full advantage of it. You can see a spark here from the big man from Japan as he finally gets this new game in the wood, and although he's not going to win this round, he's starting to look like he has a chance this season. We do let the pigs out of the enclosure to have an explore, and we've noticed a funny pattern, which is towards the end of the day, in the last race or two, the pigs will walk in the opposite direction from Piggy Heaven, away from the wood. And we know exactly why that is. It's because they know that they're going to get pushed back all the way to Piggy Heaven, but this gives them extra time to eat all the fresh grass around the woodland. You can start to see why it's so hard to manage. The final race is an extremely wet one. Bear gets a good start, so does Hoshi as they come around this corner. Ginger's in the mix. Hoshi's challenging Bear. Bear's dropping off now. Hoshi taking over as we've seen in the previous races. Slowing right down though. Did Ginger just steal that off Hoshi? Let's see in a second. They've given it to Hoshi Oinku. He's been extremely lucky there. Got overconfident. 2 good races does not make it a champion, especially when you're dealing with Piggy Smalls and Ginger, who look frankly formidable on this new woodland track. Whereas Hoshi's performance today can only be described as erratic and emotional, but even so, he still manages to turn it around. Well, a lot's changed in Season 9, but one thing that hasn't is the performances of these pigs. The biggest 3 pigs still dominate the top of this table. What surprises will the league bring them in round 2? And if you want to see these pigs racing in the paddock, why not check out the video on the screen? The Season 8 finals is a fantastic round. Thank you very much and bye for now.